A lot of people ask me and leave comments, how do you buy snowmobiles for a $500 budget? Today I'm going to show you.
Step 1, you gotta harass and lowball everybody on Facebook Marketplace until somebody says yes. Step 2, go pick it up and lowball them even more.
Here's my $500 budget snowmobile. And this fine old pussycat you're looking at right here is a 1995 Panther Deluxe 440. This thing is almost as old as me, and I just picked this up for 450 bucks. So let's get her in the shop and get to work. We got her in the shop, and I'm going to be honest with you, for 450 bucks, I am very impressed.
I managed to score this old Sled for 450 bucks. It's a 95 Arctic Cat Panther Deluxe. It's got plastic ski skins. The track is in excellent condition. With only 7,500 miles, she's not even broken in yet. It even came with a half tank of gas and a full tank of oil. This seat is in great shape. Under the hood is all there. It's all in pretty good shape. It does have some surface rust though. These older Arctic Cat sleds are powered by Suzuki. This one's got new fuel lines with an inline filter. The front suspension is in great condition as well.
So in my eyes, this is a complete steal. I've been driving this around for the last probably 2 weeks with my young fella just around the garden. It runs excellent. It starts literally 2 or 3 pulls every single time. There are some issues though, as you would expect on a $450 sled. This buggy wheel right here, you can see this bearing must be completely shot in here because the bolt is kind of oblong, it's not in the center of the wheel. This wheel is probably just about ready to fall off. I'm also going to go in here, grease up the rest of the suspension while I'm at it. Another issue this thing got is the reverse. Does not work. And I'll show you why. So you're supposed to be able to just kind of take this lever, pull it for reverse, push it down for forward. Now you follow this rod right here, you can see, well, there's nothing attached here. So there's another rod here with a pivot point on it. It goes down here to the chain case. And this here is what actually actuates your reverse. So this piece right here, you can see there, it was welded on, but the welds are broke off. So we're gonna have to get out the old flux core welder and bubble gum this back together. Aside from that, as far as I can tell, everything else works. All of our switches works, our ignition works, even our hand and thumb warmers work on this, okay? This thing had about half tank of gas in it when I bought it. It's currently got a quarter tank in it, so I've already burnt a quarter tank of gas just riding up and down my driveway. The oil injection all still works. So overall, this is a solid old sled. I'm just gonna point out here, it's pretty cool. Even though this sled is about 30 years old, just look at the suspension setup on this. We've got independent suspension. We don't have that big trailing arm going back here. Like the Skidoos of this day had that big trailing arm. Arctic Cats didn't have that. It's also pretty neat that your hood can go up and you got these little side panels here that just like fold right down. This thing did have electric start on it as well, but I'm not gonna bother to even look into that. I don't know if it works. I'm not gonna buy a battery because that'll be about, what, 120 bucks or so. When I can just haul it over 2 times and this thing fires up. Because we are trying to keep this under 500 bucks. To fix the reverse should cost absolutely nothing. A little bit of wire in the welder, that's not much. And that boogie wheel down there, if you went and bought that brand new, you'd probably spend 30 or 40 bucks. But I'm cheap. And I've got this old sled back here that I actually got for free. This is a 340 Jag. I already looked, and those boogie wheels look to be the exact same. So what I'm gonna do is rob this boogie wheel right here and put it in that one. Now you might call that cheating, but I'm calling this cheaping. This thing was absolutely free to me. I picked it up a few months ago from someone's backyard. I've been using it for parts for my other Jag, and luckily for me, the 340 parts and the 440 parts on these sleds, a lot of them are interchangeable and the same. That's enough talking, let's get to work. And the first job we're gonna tackle is this busted bearing. So let's just lift this up on the jack stand and loosen up the track. Okay, let's grab our ratchet here. Get the sucker out. Yeah, that was completely toasted. Okay, so what looks like happened here is the bearing in this wheel is actually seized up. So what happened was this little piece here took all the damage and it's completely shot, melted or whatever. So let's go take the parts off of that 340J and see what we can do. Alright, obviously nothing ever goes as planned, especially on something so old as this. All of this stuff here is completely seized up. I can't get this adjustment screw free. So I think there's just a couple bolts here, and this full rear section here with the boogie wheels in it can just come right out. And once I pop it out, hopefully I can free it all up on the bench and get it assembled, put it back in, tighten up our track. Oh my God, boys. Yours in there. Ah.
A little bit of heat does wonders.
Okay, something's free. Don't you just love when a 30-minute job turns into a 3-hour job? This old Arctic right here needed a boogie wheel, or oiler wheel, or whatever you want to call it. And this old sled right here I had for parts, the boogie wheels are exactly the same. So I figured I'd rod the boogie wheel to this one here, and put it into this one right here. All I had to do was slacken up this track and take wheel off, right? Nah, because whoever designed this thing must have designed it for Disneyland and not Newfoundland. So this right here is how you adjust your track. You get a long threaded rod into a piece of aluminum. But what you're noticing here, this is aluminum, this is steel. Two different metals.
So after I nearly dropped this one on my head, nearly nipped off my finger between the track and the suspension, and removed a few fingerprints, this track adjuster is as free as a bird. Now I gotta put all of this back together. I just love that for me.
Alrighty, I got two of my adjusters all freed up. After a bit of heat, a lot of patience, and a bit of brute force and ignorance. And a bit of lube. We got them all nice and freed up. Now let's get all this reassembled. We got it all back together.
Man, I wish it was that quick.
Alright, we got all the suspension back together. When you're tightening up your track, you literally, one side to the other, you can measure the treads, put them to the same distance. What you want here is about 1 inch or 2 of deflection. This is what Google is telling me anyways. So I get about 1 or 2 inches here of deflection on the track. So I'm just going to start her up now and just let the track go around a few times, turn her back off, recheck my adjustment and tighten up my set screws. I don't want to leave this going for too long because I'm going to smoke out the garage. I think that's pretty good. We're gonna go ahead now and tighten up these 14mm lock nuts. And then we can move on to fixing up that reverse lever. Now all I gotta do to fix up this reverse lever here, you can see, I should spray some lube on it because the lever is a little stiff, but I'll do that after I do my welding. Don't want to be catching nothing on fire, right? So, I can pretty well see where this weld goes. You can almost line it up like perfectly. So let's get the grinder, clean it up a little bit, and weld it on. Alright, before I get too excited with the welder, I'm going to start her up again. I'm going to actually put her in reverse, make sure the reverse is actually working before I completely weld that on. she goes backwards, that's great. I continue now welding that piece on, make sure it's nice and strong. She almost got a full tank of oil. She got about quarter tank of gas, which is suffice. Give her a little detail. Now's the fun part. Woohoo! Look at these. These are moose tracks.
And those are cat tracks.
I gotta go back. I forgot something very important.
I do have a new GoPro ordered, so that should help along with these riding videos. It should be here by the time the next video comes out. I should also get a few trail cams and put out here. This is literally right alongside my house, and there seems to be lots of moose tracks out this way. So maybe I can catch a few on trail cam.
That's better. Trust me, I can't afford to lose brain cells.
She's a certified ripper.
What is it, boys? That's how you get a budget snowmobile for 500 bucks or less. Is this thing the fastest on the trail? Absolutely not. Will it be winning any races? Also no. This thing will probably do a solid like 70-ish. But for a $500 budget, here's what it will get you. It'll get you on the snow, on the trails, in the woods, and it'll get you a lot of fun. And all it takes is a little bit of work. You're gonna get your hands dirty. You're gonna be learning how to fix this thing, which, to be honest with you, if you're buying a $500 snow machine, you're gonna have to learn to fix it because it's gonna break. And honestly, that goes for any snowmobile. So now you can take your fine pussycat, you can sell this and probably double your money, or you can take it and enjoy it for the winter. I know what I'm gonna do. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.